Hi and welcome back to Utopia. We believe that knowledge is power. My name's Sue Robson. I'm here to empower you through knowledge and motivation, and I'm not a professor. Let's get to learning. And in today's video, we are learning about the Capricorn male. And in the name of being honest, let me just start off by saying that I totally have it really bad for the Capricorn male. I do. Like, those of you who've seen my video on the Aries male know that I was like totally in love with the Aries male. Like, when I learned a lot about him, I was like, oh my god, he is so masculine and hot and whatever. But I have been straight thirsting over Capricorn males for several years, and hopefully through this video you will see why. But if I'm not being as biased as if I'm not being as objective and like unbiased as I should, you know why. I have said it, disclaimer, gone through. But yeah, hopefully you will share my enthusiasm about the Capricorn male throughout this video, and if not, then egg on my face, I guess. So the stereotype for the Capricorn male is the big fish. P.S. I have lots of videos on all of the Zodiac signs, so if you're interested in any others, like how to make them fall in love with you and stuff, you should definitely watch those. And if you're watching this because you want to know how to make a Capricorn fall in love with you, that is the video that will come out next week, so definitely subscribe for that. The Capricorn male is like very typical, I guess, Wall Street or like lawyer and stuff like that. He's very like hardworking, really ambitious, but also very cold and logical. He's very highly motivated because he values the types of things that you get by working hard, like, you know, success in your field, like academic success or monetary success or whatever, and like the finer things in life, like work hard, play hard mentality of like going out to the club and buying a fancy suit and having that, you know, those business cards like they do in American Psycho, having the best business card. And like the other earth signs, Taurus and Virgo, he's very practical and logical, and he works best on this plane, you know? And the reason why he succeeds isn't necessarily because he's like top of the class or whatever, but just because he's very stubborn and committed. As being stubborn is a trait that he definitely shares with the Taurus, but unlike the Taurus, he's more committed. And, you know, Taurus, they work to live, but a Capricorn lives to work. They love their work, they take pride in their work, and they like working overtime because they just enjoy the feeling they get of constantly excelling. In this way, a Capricorn may come off as a little intense, like they're too committed, like they're too obsessed with one thing, and also cold, like, you know, a person who cares about work a lot and like always just getting a new promotion, wants to spend more time working with his family. This person, you know, can be seen as cold or committed depending on your point of view, but basically it's a lot. You know, they have a different focus than a lot of other people. They also have this trait that I always say can be good or bad, but it's just that they're very direct, very blunt, very, like most conversations are a transaction, you know, so they're just going to be direct and just to get through things. They're not so worried about your emotions. But it's just also that a lot of things that are like normal day-to-day conversation or things that people think about and stuff aren't things that Capricorns are interested in. Like, they're not necessarily interested in old new movies or celebrities or stuff like that, because it's not going to help them obtain their goals whatsoever. And I think like growing up and stuff, Capricorns may feel like they're a little like mature, old soul, ahead of their time, and just because they're so focused on other things than necessarily like the people they're around or like other kids, just also probably kind of lonely. But it's not that Capricorns don't care about people, it's just that they don't necessarily care about the things that people care about. But what they really share with Aries that I talked about, like in connections, kind of like the Capricorn, is that they are very assertive and they are leader types. They want to get things done. They want to get things done their way, and they're very effective about it. And they do kind of boss people around, and they also have a very non-masculine presence. Capricorns, like Aries, don't roll over and play dead, and they don't compromise, and their main thing isn't like a Libra, like trying to maintain peace or anything like that. It's getting things done in the way that they deem fit and just obtaining goals, and they will communicate based on that premise. Capricorns are the ones who will value, for example, like sort of like outdated concepts like providing for their families and stuff like that, and they are extremely dependable. They are, yes, they're made for business in a way. They are also made to be a provider, be like a family man, and they are sort of like the Pisces is like the baby of the Zodiac, the Capricorn is like the daddy of the Zodiac. Like, they are the ones who are like the mom of the group, but the dad of the group, that are always like, okay, remember to bring your jackets, we need this and this much cash, you know, these are the things that we're going to need to have a good time. You definitely feel a huge sense of responsibility for people, not just for numbers and stuff like that, but also like to keep people safe, to keep people doing well and everything. That's why they're great leaders, and they, you know, might not have many friends because they don't necessarily value all those things, but they are really good, dependable friends when they do engaged with you, and they do actually care, and they will show that in a very practical way. But not necessarily in the most fun way. They are, not like the life of the party. They're very serious people, and they are really good at communicating, but like negotiating and stuff. Like, they are made for business, basically. And I like to say that they're very goal-driven and they're very gold-driven. They like success. They also like the money that comes with success. Just like the Taurus. They do have a lot in common with the Taurus, but the Taurus is more emotional, and Capricorn is more ambitious and more hardworking. And while they are good leaders, they also don't necessarily need a group or need to be part of a group. They are very, very independent. They do get things done on their own. They know that they depend on themselves, and they value themselves highly, and they are basically like self-improvement junkies, sort of like the Libra. They're the ones who are always listening to something useful and audible, and always trying to do the little things to keep your head in shape and your body in shape. And they definitely do care a lot about their image, but also themselves for themselves. And they sort of crave self-improvement, they crave knowledge, and they just always want to be better than they were yesterday. They always want to learn more. And they are, like I said, super loyal and super devoted. They have a very, very hard shell. Not that they're fake, they're not. It's just that their shell is a huge part of their personality, but they do have a soul, and once they get close to you and they drop that shell, they are you are in their circle, and they care about you, and they are loyal to you, and they are devoted to you, and they care a lot. But they are closed off to most. Like you probably gathered, they are workaholics, and yes, they tend to be very perfectionist. One thing that I don't necessarily think is so really great about them is that they are also kind of petty, which I feel also is generally a trait of earth signs. Me being an earth sign myself, I can admit it, there's a lot of pettiness going on in the earth sign community. And Capricorns are very, they do always believe that they're right and everything. They want to be the leader, and they have a very, very big ego, and I believe when you wound that ego, they will be, very petty about it. Because they are also I feel like pettiness is a trait that comes hand in hand with vanity a lot of the time, and they just definitely are vain people, and they have this whole ego thing, and so they can be very petty. But they are also very intelligent, and they have a lot of self-control, and so I guess they can keep their pettiness sort of to themselves, but it will obviously come out in underhand ways anyways. To sum up: cold, ambitious, productive, realistic, intelligent, caring, organized, reliable, and nerdy.